Hello.
Hello.
Can you introduce yourself and tell
Yeah.
me where you were before you started this program and what were some of your biggest challenges or problems at that time?
Okay. My name is Sarah. I'm currently a consultant in the direct-to-consumer industry for e-commerce. I do a lot of psychology work, which is really interesting. So I came in with a decent amount of knowledge about what I thought was going to happen, which I was pleasantly surprised that it was way more than that. So that's great. I was struggling with all kinds of different things, honestly. Burnout probably being the biggest one. That was the physical manifestation. I had a very, very successful consultancy that was taking me 40 to 50 hours a week to manage. I was making decent money, but it was never consistent, never ever consistent.
Mhm.
Um, and I was doing everything. I was all of the hacks, all the content, all of my books, all of the interior stuff for my clients, trying to get people onboarded, doing the actual work. Then I was going back and doing all the administrative stuff, all of my taxes, everything for anything, any part of the business was on me. And I was doing all of this in 40, 50 hours a week on top of trying to manage two little kids at home. So I, I had a 6 year old and an almost 4 year old, and I was like momming in pockets of like trying to do this work at the same time. And I was so burnt out. I was just like disgusted with myself. I was so mad about where my life had ended up. So I was so done when we first met. And I'm sure you knew. I'm sure you could tell.
Wow. Yeah, I mean, yes, but not to that extent. Thank you for sharing that. So, considering where you were now, where you were, and all the like super mom that you've been and whole like literally doing all of that, what has been some of the biggest breakthroughs that you've had, or what are the most positive changes that you've seen in your life thus far
Yeah.
through just through the work together?
It was really interesting because when we first started working together, I was skeptical, very skeptical, because I was just like, I don't know. I've heard a lot about like manifestation and understanding like your deep core feelings and those type of things many, many times, which now 100%, I think they're very misconstrued in culture. I don't think people actually understand what manifestation means.
Yeah.
But as we started working together and I started uncovering all these very strange, very deep subconscious things that I had buried down there for a very, very long time, I finally started to understand how they were connected to some of the weird behaviors that I have or had in my life, right? So I had these very big beliefs that I needed to make enough money to retire my husband and like be the biggest person in this particular industry and like make a name for myself and become famous and be a multimillionaire. Like I had all these very strange attachments to different concepts that are pretty common, but they all kind of stem down to like three or four core, very emotional experiences in my childhood that
Yeah.
you helped process out. So I think one of the biggest things that I took away from it was sometimes I don't know why I do things, especially things that are habitual and damaging to myself, right? Or not as healthy as they could be. And I finally figured out that a lot of it is trapped emotion, at least trapped emotion somewhere in the body, which I didn't ever want to touch for the longest time because I'm a very logical thinker, very straightforward, like A player. I'm very like, determined towards things, which is a good trait to have, but a lot of it was manifesting oddly because I had these trapped emotions. So that was super helpful. Processing those out was massive for me, massive.
And since processing them, what has come about? Like, tell me about the things that you've seen shift. Because I know, but I love to know like what was the biggest, and all of them really, all of the shifts that you've made.
Yes. Oh my gosh. So some of the things that manifested pretty early on, one of the things I wanted to do was retire my husband. And within the first couple sessions with you, I ended up quitting my job entirely, just shutting it down for all of December. And within about 2 weeks, my husband came back and he was like, so things are switching around at my job and they're kind of changing how our benefits work. And we're actually getting a whole lot of like basically what they call RSUs. So they're, stock options that's going to help me retire by 50. And I was like, what? I have been trying to retire you for 10 years. And you're telling me 2 weeks in now, he's like, it's fine. I'm going to retire exactly when I wanted to retire. I'm like, I'm going to die. Secondary to that, my mom was kind of coming in and helping with my business because she's an accountant. So she was doing a whole lot of my like tax prep stuff. And I was paying her $500 a month and it was kind of a big expense. And I didn't want to give that piece up and stop what I was doing and hustling so hard after, the goal that I thought I had. Because I wanted to take care of her. I really wanted to give her this opportunity to make 500 extra dollars a month. And then that was within the first month of quitting and actually like working together with you. My mom came back and was like, so my job just gave me a $500 a month raise. So I don't really need, I mean, it's fine if you quit because I don't really need the money anymore. And I was like, I have been trying so hard to keep this up. I think that was the most frustrating thing at the beginning. I was like, this is easy. This is
Uh,
easy. What is going on? Like all of these things that I thought I was supposed to solve are solving themselves. So that was huge. Now fast forward, 3 months in, we're to the end of kind of like our package together. And I think some of the biggest things that have manifested is I feel so clear on what I'm supposed to do and who I'm
yes.
supposed to be and like how simple it is when you actually get down to it. So I'm working, 10 hours a week. I'm getting double the amount of work done. Everything that I wanted to keep and manifest and keep safe for myself and my family has just taken care of itself. Clients are coming in so easily. I just don't even have to do anything now. So it's just this ease of I'm not going to be worry free, but I'm not going to have to focus so hard on forcing it to happen. So that was huge.
Amazing. Oh my God, I love that. And I was gonna say because when you came to me and you said one of your goals was to retire your husband, I was like, deep down,
Yeah.
I was like,
Yep. Yep.
it's not gonna.
You're so kind to not say anything. You were like, okay, yeah, let's work on that goal. I
I
was
mean,
like, oh,
I
geez.
knew it was, the thing is, I'm never gonna tell you things because I'm telling you something, it's gonna be like a wall that doesn't receive it
Yeah.
until
Yep.
I show you for yourself that that's not what you actually want, and that's
Exactly.
going to receive it differently.
Yep. Yeah.
So
It's been amazing. I've loved every minute. Thank you. Thank you.
you're welcome.